The following is a RockRadioShow.com exclusive.
WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns. It was reported on ESPN SportsCenter with Michelle Beadle that Brock Lesnar has resigned with WWE and his Octagon career is over.
Vince backed the truck up.
Brock Lesnar got a pay raise for a 3-year deal. I love the fact that Brock Lesnar is staying with WWE. I think this is the best they could make. It opens up so many possibilities for the next 3 years. Because it goes to them, we don't need to make another guy just yet because we have a guy named Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, it buys them time, especially with someone like Roman, where they can really build Roman up.
Please don't let him do Snickers commercials.
Please don't. Just saying.
Just pointing that one out. Okay. They've done a decent job with this build. Paul Heyman's been the MVP. Complete MVP. It's been amazing. But I like that Brock's back. He was good on SportsCenter. He's an ultimate babyface now, thanks to SportsCenter.
Yeah, he is. He really is.
And people are going to cheer him, as we told you a few minutes ago. They're already cheering him rather than Roman Reigns. This is the question before we get into a Roman Reigns topic. Is Brock Lesnar the key for WWE to go mainstream into sports?
If he's not the key, he's certainly a stepping stone.
Because when was the last time a breaking news WWE story was on SportsCenter?
Oh, I think the streak?
Maybe, but that was in passing.
Yeah, this was an actual, they opted to make the announcement on SportsCenter. I'm sure Bill Simmons had something to do with that.
Michelle Beadle, because they like UFC, they were in California. Bill Simmons, Michelle Beadle, they're all connected. And she legit had no idea what he was going to say. They had the coach there as well, which was cool.
Yeah. It's like, in case I need to translate, Brocky's,
I speak Brock.
I speak Brock.
Was the best way to put it. I like that. I think this is going to be key, because there was an article, that's why I brought the question, that's saying this could lead to more mainstream sports stuff for WWE, for them to be taken more seriously, with Brock Lesnar as the head of it. And I agree.
I would agree with that.
Now, here in Philadelphia on CSNPhilly.com, they do a show called The Lunch Break. They had a special guest today. Thanks to Snickers. His name was Roman Reigns. And there was something posed to him, and we're going to let you hear it, and then we'll react. Take a listen.
Is it kind of odd, because you're kind of supposed to be the good guy, so it's kind of weird that you get that kind of reaction?
I don't think so. That the whole good guy, bad guy thing is, I think we're past that. I think there's a lot of gray area. I think, I'm me. I can be a good guy and a bad guy. I can be the guy. There's a lot of different hats that I wear. And, that's the world we're living in. It's a very reality-based world. We're not these crazy, outlandish characters, because you can just go on the internet and look me up. So I try to stay as close as I can to my real self and make it true. And that's what I hope to do, is just to continue to evolve and grow.
Gray areas. It's kind of funny. Whenever a guy gets booed when he should be cheered, it's always gray. Always a gray area. Could it be that it's like you're not getting over?
I think it's a common excuse that it's a gray area where basically like, oh yeah, I know I'm not getting over, but it's fine. I agree with Roman. There is a lot of gray, and there are people who can do gray areas very well. But there is still a need for good guys and bad guys, and in order to really pull off a gray area, you have to do both a good and a bad guy character. You have to show that to the fans, because then that gray area begins to exist, where it's like, in the case of Randy Orton, he's not really a good guy, he's not really a bad guy, he's somewhere in between, but there's certain behaviors that he does that are forgiven by the fans because that's just Randy being Randy. Taker is another good example. He's not a good guy, he's not a bad guy, he's Taker. And whatever he does, oh, that's Taker being Taker.
But he is cheered.
John Cena is supposed to be a good guy, but he's booed. And there is a gray area with John Cena where he's doing things, well, maybe they're not so good guy, but they're not bad guy either.
But usually his intentions are always good.
Yeah, but it's like for Roman to say, yeah, I'm a good guy, but I don't really believe in that, and there's a lot of gray area. It's like, well, that's fine if you don't believe in it, but here's the thing. You're supposed to be a classic babyface going up against a monster heel, in terms of that story, and it's like you have to tell that story. And
if the guy involved in the story doesn't believe believe the character for that story, then how are the fans supposed to believe it?
Yeah, I think that's the problem, is we can't believe.
He doesn't believe himself.
Yeah.
So it's like, how can we believe in him?
Yeah. It's very difficult to connect with someone if they don't believe in what they're doing. And when it kind of comes across like that, it's like, yeah, that kind of makes sense why I'm not jiving with what you're doing.
Now, to the finish of this match. Can go so many ways.
Oh, we're not going to talk about the Google comment?
Oh yeah, Google. I forgot about the Google comment. Talk about the Google comment.
So basically, in addition to what he said in the interview, he also, I forget what the question was.
He said you could go on there and look me up. Basically, Google himself.
I have a problem with that. This is the guy that you're picking to be the face of your company. This is the guy that needs to connect with your entire audience. He's been on the main roster 3 years, and we don't really know any more about him than when he showed up. Beyond his personal life. We don't know his goals. We don't know his aspirations. We don't know what brought him there, what's keeping him there, who he likes, who he dislikes, what his favorite food is. I mean, there are some superstars that when they tell you who they are, you connect to them. And that's the thing, is Roman Reigns hasn't really told us who he is. He hasn't really shown us who he is. We know he's the badass from the Shield, but the badass has sort of gone away, and there's this guy that's, really nice looking, decent wrestler, but, he doesn't talk much, so we don't really know a lot about him. And for him to say, well, I can't be bothered to tell you who I am, just go Google me, that bothers me on a lot of levels, because honestly, part of your job is to tell the fans who you are. You have to explain that to people, because not everybody is going to go out and Google you, because some people can't be bothered. We're a visual group. We need those visual cues, and you need to tell us that, because guess what? I can Google you and it will tell me, yeah, this is your real name. This is where you're from. This is your wife's name. This is your daughter's name. This is where you went to college. That's all background information. That's great to have, but what is your character? What are you supposed to be? What are you trying to get to? It's like, I really want to connect to Roman. I really want to like him. I really, truly do. But there's just something there that I just can't do it. And it's mainly because I just don't know. I just don't know how the hell to connect to him, because I don't have anything in common with him. And it's like, I want to find that common trait. And I think that's what a lot of people are missing, where it's like, yeah, he's the badass of the Shield. Yeah, he can, he's got pretty hair and he can do a spear, and he does all these different moves, and that's great, but it's, why should I like him?
Why should I believe in Roman Reigns?
Yeah, why should I believe in Roman Reigns? You tell me I should believe in Roman Reigns, but why should I believe in Roman Reigns? That's what's missing for a lot of people, is he's going out there every week, he's saying, believe in me, believe in what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop Brock Lesnar, I'm going to win the title. Great, good for you. Why should I believe you? You don't believe in yourself. You can't be bothered to explain, anything to me and let me get to know you as a character. So why should I believe you? It's something that, hearing that bothers me. It really genuinely bothers me. And I'm sure it's taken out of context, but still, it's for him to say, oh, well, if you want to know anything about me, you can Google me. No, dude, that's not how this works. It's like, here's the thing. Just because I like to talk about him, we're going to compare Roman to Bray.
Go for it.
We know more about Bray in the year and a half that he's been on the roster than we know about Roman.
True story.
We know where Bray comes from. We know what motivates him.
Alright, here's the thing. What's Roman Reigns' motivation right now? Who's he fighting for? Is he fighting for the people?
I don't know.
Or is he fighting for himself?
I don't know.
Like, he won the Royal Rumble, so it's like, is he gonna take down the almighty Brock Lesnar for us or for himself? I don't
know.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know these things. If I knew his motivation, I could get behind the motivation. I don't know the motive. Like, here's a comparison. Shawn Michaels wins the Royal Rumble in 1996. What was his motivation? To realize his boyhood dream. Easiest story to get behind. Right?
Right.
Why is Shawn Michaels beloved? Because people believed in the boyhood dream. Simple as that. We all know the stories. It's easy to tell. Just tell the story.
Yeah, it's like if he can't come up with something, then just make up something for him. Have him just say, okay, hey, well, this is what we're gonna do, and
just say he's fighting for his family.
Yeah, I mean, you keep bringing up his family, so is it he's fighting to stay in his family? He's fighting for family honor? What is, it's like you have all these fragments that they're not tying them together with him, and he's just this kind of there, and it's like, he just keeps saying, it's like, believe in me. And it's like, why? Why should I? You're not giving me any kind of reason beyond this supposed badass who's won 2 matches. 2 big matches.
I figured it out. His motivation is because we tell him he can't do it. That's why he can and he will.
That is the stupidest motivation ever.
And we're supposed to believe that. WWEshop.com.
Dude, I tell myself that every day when I get up and go to work.
I know.
Mainly because my brain's like, I can't sit in traffic another day, and it's, yes, you can.
I will believe that.
I will believe that.
Where's my Starbucks?
Out. Yeah, exactly. Where the hell is my Starbucks? By the way, the people at Starbucks lied to me. There is a birthday cake frappuccino. I have a mission for tomorrow.
Woohoo!
But,
Side
yeah,
note.
and it's like, I really, really want to get behind Roman, and originally everybody was kind of dreading this match because we weren't sure if Brock was going to stay, if he was going to go. And if Brock leaves, obviously the title goes to Roman, and there was an option of having Seth cash in.
Now you still have that option.
You still have that option of Seth cashing in. I don't see Seth cashing in at this point. They're not going to re-sign Brock Lesnar for a shit ton of money to have him lose that title.
Right.
At least not right now. I can see Seth Rollins cashing in. They're going to have him cash in before June or July.
June.
But I don't see it being Mania now, with Brock signing a brand spanking new contract.
It makes no sense to take the belt off of Brock Lesnar right now because of the big press he just got.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense right now to keep the belt on Brock a little bit longer. I imagine he's going to be doing a few more dates. Not many, but I can see him coming back for Extreme Rules.
He's done that in the past.
Where they bring him, and that's where you basically have him lose the belt, probably in May?
I would have him lose it at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
I'd give him a full year as the champion. I'd give him a full year as champion. It makes the story better for when he's finally done. When the belt's finally taken off.
Yeah, but here's the thing, then Seth loses the Money in the Bank, so Seth the first one to never cash in.
Or he fails to cash in on Monday night.
I wouldn't have him fail, though. That's the thing with Seth. Because Seth's whole thing right now is the Money in the Bank, and if you have him not succeed, he's DOA. Look at Damien Sandow, okay?
Unless he gets screwed out of the belt, the briefcase, by Roman Reigns. You can have Roman Reigns screw Seth Rollins in the match and have it that way.
No, I don't want Roman to do that.
Neither do I, but it's a scenario. I can also.
I know.
You can also have. I heard this earlier, and this was a cool one. Have Seth Rollins cash in while the match is going on at WrestleMania.
That could happen, but then he's got to win. Like, that's the thing. Seth has to win.
Yeah, unless he cashes in and then loses the match, but it's a 3-way at that point. I don't know. I don't think there's a cash in at WrestleMania. I think it's too obvious.
Oh, no, I don't think there's going to be cash in WrestleMania, especially since the ink isn't even dry on the contract yet. I say Brock retains.
The Magic 8 Ball took a few seconds, actually took a while to actually say Brock Lesnar wins, most likely, at WrestleMania. I'm going with Brock, because I think it makes the most sense. But then there's the other part of me goes, I hope WWE sticks to their guns. But that's the double-edged sword. It's like, you want WWE to stick to their plan, but at the same time, I want to see Brock. Brock is my champion right now. He's the one I want to see. He's the biggest star. He should have the belt.
Honestly, I think WWE's plan all along was to re-sign Brock and get him back under contract. Roman, I think, is the backup, and I think they have the intention of building Roman into a star, but now they can take the time in that they need with Roman to build him. Because obviously the crowds are not happy with him, and if they put that title on him, they are going to boo him out of the building.
He's going to get the boot out of the Levi's Stadium.
And the only way that you're going to be able to salvage that is if you turn Roman heel.
And that's the thing I need to get addressed. Don't mess up a good thing. Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman's a good thing. You don't mess that up. That's stupid.
Yeah.
With Brock around for 3 years, don't screw that up. makes no sense. End of story. Yeah, so Brock retains, and my Spidey sense tells me, as WrestleMania ends, you hear the words, "If you smell what The Rock is cooking."
Now, could Roman's cousin cost him the title?
He could. But my Spidey sense says, if you smell what The Rock is cooking, face-to-face showdown to tease next year's WrestleMania main event.
He's calling his shot, ladies and gentlemen. He's calling his shot.
If you smell what I'm cooking.